Hello, and thank you for tuning in to this episode of Animals and Ames. My name is Ron Edwards. I'm the Animal Control Supervisor here for the Ames Animal Shelter and Animal Control Program. Our very special guest here with us today, first in line, is going to be Helena. Helena came to us, a very nice gentleman here, resident of Ames, saw someone slam on their brakes and noticed that a little kitten ran out from under the vehicle, and unfortunately she was hit by the car. Her leg here in the front, which is actually not there anymore, was completely shattered, and the only way to save her was to have that leg amputated. So we took her to our friends, the Somerset Vet Hospital, and they immediately got to work and did x-rays and figured out the only way that we were going to save Helena is by amputating that front leg there. So at first it took her a little bit to kind of get used to not having the leg there, but she's such a young kitten that it's not going to be long, and she's she's out running around and playing. Just this morning she was playing with a little ball inside her kennel and just having a good old time. So she's completely forgot that she used to have an extra leg there, and learned to live with just the three. So she's a very, we're so lucky that she made it through the accident and that she's here with us today. Really sweet kitten. We've had a lot of interest in her. Typically any kind of issue like this, we get a lot of interest in them. And she's a kitten, so we've just had a lot of people come forward. We are accepting applications on Helena. She will not need any follow-up as far as her injuries or due to her injuries. She can live a very long, happy life just like any cat could. Of course, it's going to be extremely important that Helena is an indoor-only cat. Not having that extra paw will, she cannot defend herself if she were to get out and, be attacked by either a wild animal or maybe a loose dog. So we want to make sure that she's going to live a long, happy, safe life. So she is available for adoption. You can come down and meet her. We're not taking her out yet to spend time out of her kennel just yet because of the surgery. We want to make sure that heals nice. But you can definitely come down and fill out an application if you're interested in her, or come down and get more information about her. But again, the injury is not going to cause her any future problems. That's all been taken care of through the amputation. And again, she'll get better and better as time goes by at learning how to adjust and just use that front paw there to balance herself. And she was kind of rearing up on her back legs, playing with a little ball, and just a really cute sight to see. So she's a survivor, and we want to make sure that we find that absolute best perfect home for her that we can. So we're accepting those applications. Oh, that's a good yawn. For Helena, come on down to the shelter if you'd like to see her in person. And our next guest today is Twizzler. Twizzler is, in the next three kittens that I'm going to show you, they're all part of the same litter from a mom cat that we have here. Her name is Lori. Unfortunately, Lori tested positive for FIV, which is feline immunodeficiency virus. It's similar to immune compromising system as HIV in people, although this condition is not contagious to people. It is contagious to other cats if they get into fights, things like that. Another way that the disease can be transmitted is from mom to kittens. So these guys are scheduled, and this is a boy here. Twizzler is a boy. They're about, I believe they're about 10 weeks old. They're just getting scheduled for their spay and neuter surgeries. We're going to have them tested for feline leukemia and feline AIDS, so that FIV virus that their mom has, to see if she passed it down to them. It's not always a guarantee. Mom doesn't always pass it off to the kittens. But it's always a possibility as well. So we're going to test and make sure that these guys are negative. If they do come back positive, what that means is that we are just going to, we'll want to test them again, typically when they're between 4 and 6 months old, to see, because it is possible that they may shed the virus. So they get the virus from the mom, and they're able to shed that by the time they reach 4 to 6 months of age. So these kittens are going to be very special needs adoptions. A lot of times with FIV positive cats or kittens, what's most important is that anytime that they show any sign of illness, that they're taken to the vet immediately for care. So, you know, if they're sneezing or they have a cold, and not just one sneeze, but it appears that they have a cold, maybe there's some discharge, we want to make sure that they get into the vet, and we get them into the vet and they're seen right away for that condition. And if necessary, that the vet starts them on treatment, because if they are positive, they're going to have an immune system that is compromised. So we want to make sure that they're going to maintain healthy, happy lives. They are all very friendly cats. They were socialized and fostered with one of our staff members, one of our part-time animal control officers. So they've been around dogs, they've been around other cats, and they've been around kids. So they're really well socialized. You can see here, he could really care less that there's lights on, the cameras are rolling. He just wants to have a fun time and play. So again, this is Twizzler. Twizzler is one of 3 kittens, Lori's kittens. Lori's actually still here at the shelter. We're trying to get her to recover from a cold. And again, with an immune system that's compromised, it's taking much longer. So we're still very hopeful for Lori, for their mom, and hoping that she's going to recover from that, and that we're going to eventually find her forever home as well. So kind of special needs, you definitely want to do some research about FIV. Just find out kind of, you know, the things you need to be careful with. Obviously, we want all of our cats to be indoor kitties. It's even more important for a cat that's FIV or FELV, feline leukemia positive, that they're not out there potentially exposing other cats. So just number 2507, why you should keep your cats indoors, because cats that have these conditions can always expose them. So we want these guys to be safe and sound inside the home. So if you do some research about FIV and are interested in adopting one of these guys, and again, they may come back negative. So we're hoping that they are going to be negative, but we're going to be here for them either way. So if you're interested in these guys, come on down. We'll have you fill out an application here at the Ames Animal Shelter. And this one right now is Twizzler. And our next guest today is Gumball. This is Twizzler's sister. So in the litter, Lori had 2 boys and 1 girl. So she is the only girl here. Gumball, I would imagine, was probably named, don't eat the microphone. She was probably named by the kids, would be my guess. But of course, they're not used to those names, so feel free to change that name if you're the lucky one that gets to adopt this beautiful kitty here. She's what we would call kind of a dilute tortie. She's got some really fine hairs in there that kind of give her that tortoiseshell coloring. She's also got some tabby stripes here. But just like Twizzler, lots of energy, wants to play. You want to tell your story? Don't need the microphone. Just lots of love these little kittens have, and the mom is also a very sweet cat, sweet-natured cat. It's just very unfortunate that she is FIV positive. So again, just like with Twizzler, we're going to hope that these guys are negative and do not have that. But even if they do, we're going to still commit to them and make sure that we find the best homes for them, and someone that understands that they're going to need that special care and attention. Don't chew on the microphone. They're going to need that special home that's going to care for them and give them that love and attention and medical care when they need it, because that's really important with these little guys. And you just like microphones, don't you? So again, this is Gumball. She is the female, and all 3 of them will be scheduled for their spay and neuter surgeries and their feline leukemia and feline AIDS testing in the next week or so, I would guess. But you can see them now here at the shelter. They're in our cat adoption room. And if you are interested in adopting one of them, come on in. We can talk to you about them. And we can also give you an application so you can fill that out, because we are accepting applications on these guys, and we want to make sure that we find the best home for all 3 of these guys, and Mom too, when she's healthy and ready for her forever home. And our final guest for today is Ames. Ames is also a male, so Twizzler and Ames are the 2 males, and Gumball is the females of the litter. We probably will see most of this color come in. It looks kind of like a shade of gray in here. Typically that will turn black. So I believe that Ames will probably be a solid black kitty, but it'll be interesting to know as he grows older to see what color he turns into. So again, a very special kitty, as all 3 of them are. They don't have this thing with the microphone. They want to tell their story. Just don't chew on it. Very sweet kitties. Again, they've spent a lot of time in the foster home with a lot of socialization with the kids, the other animals, and are very well socialized and are going to make great companions for somebody. We would love to possibly adopt them in pairs. We have 3, so that may be one of them is going to be alone, but we would like to adopt them so they'll have a friend to play with. Kittens love to have someone to socialize with and play, and make sure if they don't have someone to socialize, turn that way, that they have lots of toys to play with and everything. So if you're at work or in class, they have that constant enrichment that they can play and get out that energy. And of course, as soon as you get home, you want to spend lots of time with them. So Ames here is one of those special kitties that we're going to have tested when he goes in for neutered. And again, hopefully they will be negative. So we'll keep a close eye on that, and I'll keep you updated. As soon as we get information about them, I will definitely come back and let our viewers on the show know their status. But if you're interested in any one of these 3, come on down to the shelter. We also have the mom too, who is recovering. So she's kind of in our kitty isolation area. But if you're interested in any of the 3 kittens or possibly mom, come on down. We'd love to talk to you more about them and their condition. And again, hoping for the best when they get spayed or neutered, that they're going to be negative. Well, that's our show for today. We've had some incredible adoptions lately, and I've been saying this a lot, and that's a great thing for me to have to repeat on the show. We don't have any dogs available for adoption right now. Our last dog was adopted on Saturday, and we have just a few adult cats right now, and then, of course, the 3 kittens that you just saw on today's show, actually 4 kittens that you saw on today's show. Just want to send a special thank you out there to all of the people who donate to the shelter. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have been able to afford the surgery for Helena, for that leg amputation. That's extremely expensive for that kind of a surgery. It's a very delicate surgery that needs to be done very well by a great surgeon, and we're very thankful to Somerset for taking care of that for us and taking such great care of Helena and so many animals that we take to them. So again, thank you to our donors that helped save Helena's life. We couldn't do the work that we do here without you. It's really that above and beyond services that we provide from the city's general fund and general budget that helps to really save these animals' lives. So from the bottom of our heart and from the bottom of all of theirs, thank you so much.